Hello again everyone. So I've decided now some of my older videos that that I recorded aren't the best quality. They're done from afar, they're done on my phone, so I thought I'd redo them now when I got around to getting whatever item in for repair. So this one is a repair on a Dyson. What model number is it? It is an HD07 Supersonic Hairdryer. I'm sure it's off before I plug it in. So I'm going to plug it in. This is coming from my eBay repair service. So I've plugged it in. Don't know if that picked up on there actually. Anyway, I heard a big, what sounded like a spark coming from when I put the switch on. So, I'm not sure what the issue is with this actually. The filter looks like it needs a bit of a clean. Yeah, it's a little bit in there. So let's get to taking this off. So I've got the tools you're going to need for this to open it up. It's a T4, T6 and a T8. Depending on how deep we're going to actually get into this, you may not need the T4, but you're going to definitely need the T8 and the T6. So these screws I'm taking out for the filter. These are T6, so 2 for your filter, always 2 for your filter. Let's have a look at the state of this. That's not actually bad. What I do with that, I just hold it up to the light and see if I mean you can see. Yeah, you can see through that, that's not a problem. I'll still give it a clean though before I put it back. Screws under here, you've either got 1 or 2. So you got normally 1 there and 1 on the opposite. This one's only got the 1 screw on, so we'll undo that there. And that'll just fall out nicely. Turn her over. Again, you've got your T6 screwdriver, but this time these are smaller screws. Same head size, just a lot shorter. So you got 3 up at the top, and then swap your screwdriver over for the T8. And behind, it's normally behind a bit of felt, or I don't know what they call it, bit of a sticky pad on there, and that's a T8. But that is a long screw. Okay, there, that'll come off. Now you have got some, I don't know what that is actually, it's just a tape, bit of felt tape I think. Right, so that's in there. I think with this I am going to have to, I'm going to plug it back in, I'm going to probe them. In fact, I'm just going to take that heat shrink off of there. I'm going to plug it back in and just probe that, see if I'm getting power. I'm actually getting power up to that. So we're on AC voltage there. Yeah, so we're getting 240 volts going up to there, so I'm happy with that. Make sure, yeah, 241 volts off. Unplug it, so we've no voltage in it at all now. So we're going to have to open this up further and then find out. These are tight, so I always hold them with a pair of pliers. Pull them off. Right. So to get into it further, I need to take this trim off. So to take this trim off, I get down in between. Let me see if I can. So on all these there's a gap along that, just a slight gap. So I need to get this metal. I mean, it can be metal, it can be plastic, anything that's thin and strong. Get it in about that far, yeah, and then pop it off. Hopefully, so in that far, pop it off. There it comes. Don't forget, this comes with an orange seal, and it always sticks down there. There we go, put that back, that's ready to go back on. Let's zoom back out. Right, so what I need to do now is 4 screws here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take them 4 screws out. And this is where you need your T4 screwdriver bit. Where's that gone? There we go. So as you can see, there's not much room when it focuses. There's not much room. There's not much wall thickness on them bolts. So what you tend to find is that they just break. There's nothing you can do. You can try and glue it back together, but then it's not going to have a solid. This isn't very magnetic. I need to get that very magnetic. It doesn't have a solid. Let me just see if. No, it's fine. Yeah, it doesn't have anything solid to screw into. So then you've got to either buy another one or, I mean, I've got a 3D printer, that's why I 3D print one. That will be why it is not working. So that's the only reason why it's not working. Because there's a fault on the switch. That's why there was a little bit of a pop. So fingers crossed now. That should work perfect. Let me get forceps. So it's either, which is very unlikely. See, the bin dropped and it's come out, but there's quite a bit of solder on there, but not really where the hole is. Yeah, so you got your hole where your wire comes through, but it's yeah, it's not held very well. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to test that switch on continuity. So I've got it on the sounder, so when your wires touch, it beeps. So at the minute that's off, so the switch is in the off position, so it shouldn't beep. And then I'm going to turn it on. There you go. So that switch is absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm just going to solder that wire onto that switch. There we go. No wrong with that. Right, so all I need to do, so that bit of heat shrink that I put on before I solder the switch, I just need to recover that now. Let me just see if I can find it. Right here. Right here. Come here. Cool. There we go. There's you. Nearly. All that heat shrink is for is purely just to cover that connection point there, because like I say, that goes onto the PCB inside, and it does touch. There is other exposed terminals and exposed points on that PCB, so you don't want a live touching where it shouldn't be touching really. So I'll just shrink it down. There we go. I don't normally use that. I normally just use the Altair station. So yeah, that wire out of there, and just push your switch back into where it should go. There you go. That clicked in nicely, that then. Right, so all I'm doing now is pushing that, excuse me, that pad down, and then you can see through the holes here because there's no screw in there, so you should be able to see daylight going through there, and that'll help line everything up as well. So I was doing my opposites. Just help line that up a little bit with my tweezers. Perfect. You don't want to over tighten the heat, just by feel. And as soon as you feel any resistance, just stop. There we go. So that's that cover back on. Once I've done that, I normally just peel back this captain tape just enough just to get the, come on, just enough to get. Now that, your white wire and your black wire, they sit in a groove there, and then it just like helps to clip your cable in, just helps to hold it in there. It loops round there and then round the back, and then you should just be able to now put that captain tape back. If it's not sticky, if it's no longer sticky, I just put new captain tape on it. But it is, the original is quite good actually. It does, as long as you're not handling it too much on the sticky side. As you can see there, it's got a little barb here at the top, one in the other side, and then one on the opposite side. It feeds in under that loop, and then back there. Perfect. So you can't. So there's your black and your white wires. Right, I'm going to put the. Just going to have a quick look at that motor. That's fine. Normally they get a little bit airy, but this one, I'll be honest with you, has been looked after very well. It's been cleaned, regular. And that is it. I'm going to preempt it and put the trim piece back on. So all I do, just push it in, line it up, and that, once it's located, give it a tap. I'm going to have to take that off and do it again. I'll show you why in a second. Right, in fact I'll show you now before I forget. Oh, it's gone. It's gone with my second tap. It was showing under here that the white O-ring around the top of here, it's just showing a little bit, but when I give it another tap, it was fine. Right, so that's in the off position. Let's plug it in. Let's plug it in and try it. And I think, right, so that's off. Let's try it now. There we go. Realise, realise. That's it, all done. So really the only issue there was the wire. Don't know how, never seen that before actually. It may have been dropped, I just don't know. But yeah, that was the only issue with that. So a nice quick fix, didn't cost anything at all apart from a little bit of my time. But yeah, just goes to show, some, you know, that's not working. Oh my god, it's broke, let's get a new one. So for the sake of just opening it up, checking, it was that switch, just needed soldering on. Job done. And it is, these ones are gorgeous. I don't know what they call these. Is it Persian blue and gold or something? Not sure. Anyway, whatever they call them, they are nice. They're a nice colour. It's better than the grey and pink trim ones that you see a lot of. Right, let's just put these back down. Push my finger in there and then line the grip up, line a little slot up with the switch. Just test it before I put this back. Now, a lot of the time, well, it's not doing it with this one. A lot of the time I see that the first O-ring that you put on rides up with the when you're putting the handle on, it rides up, so I just put a little bit of this lithium grease on. I just put a tiniest amount of that on, and that just lubricates that seal, just so that it doesn't catch and it goes over. Excuse me, goes over fine. So put your screw back on your handle. That with this filter, I'm just going to get. I've got a dedicated toothbrush for it. That now is nice and clean. So as long as you can see through it and it's not blocked up, you're going to have trouble-free drying there. What I actually do myself is when I'm running the hairdryer, so I'll have it on number 2 heat and the fastest speed, and I'll just get my toothbrush in again, and then I would do it while it's actually running. That way it blows it through the hairdryer. And then it exhausts in here. Which what a lot of people do, they'll just clean that as it is without the hairdryer on, and then so all the crap and all the hair and the fluff and all the gunk, it'll go out your filter, no problem. But what I find is it then stays in the handle of your hairdryer. I'll just bob this in. That's not right. It stays inside this area of the handle, and then when you switch it on, it then travels up. It goes through your motor, and then out into your heating elements, and then out. But I see it loads, so I know. So all the crap that stays in here, it gets sucked up through your motor, and if there's already some in your motor, part of that crap will stick in your motor before it goes out. So not everything that you go out there goes out your motor. So that's why I always have it started up first and then clean it. Then I know nothing's going to stick, or there's less chance of anything sticking. Yeah, for some reason this isn't closed up correctly. Looks better. There we go. That's all back together nice now. Just got the buttons to do. But I'm just going to plug it in one last time, try it, and then what I do, I'll have this running for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I'll just test, make sure it's not overheating, make sure it's running fine, make sure it doesn't cut out, etc, etc. You can see there. hold on. So yeah, so I'll glue them buttons back on, and then I'll just test it off camera, get it posted back to my customer. So yeah, simple fix, simple repair, didn't cost anything, didn't take much time to diagnose it, because as soon as I took everything out, the switch just come out of my hand. So it was like, that's the issue. Right, so thank you for watching, and I hope it's helped someone.